Hello everyone and welcome to Fletcher Farms Amarillo. I'm Julie Fletcher. Today I'm not standing by any of the horses because it is extremely windy here today. We're having 70-mile-an-hour winds and it's pretty crazy. So I found one little corner of the barn that was quiet to shoot this video because this is pretty important and needed to get this video out as soon as possible for y'all. So yesterday when we went to go pick up the new horse, who we decided to name Liam, we picked him up at Bowie, Texas Livestock, and he was limping pretty bad on those front legs. Nothing like he was in the video that I posted on Monday that was from the stockyard. I don't know how they got him to run or anything like that, but he was limping really bad. So
it was pretty easy to tell what horse we were picking up from all the rest of them that were out in the stockyard. But this was a picture of him, and then this was a picture of him walking up the ramp to get into the barn area. And you can just tell he's got stiff legs. Corey didn't take a video. I was getting the halters out. So they brought him up and we got him into the barn area where we could get him haltered. Unfortunately, the halter that we brought doesn't fit and they didn't have another one that would fit him. So we had a little bit of a challenge there, but we did overcome that as well. You can see from this video that he's just not walking right, that he's very painful in those front legs. We weren't really sure what was going on, but once I saw this video, I knew something was wrong and that we needed to get him to the vet's office. But he loaded right up in the trailer and he's just a super sweet boy. And we're so glad that we were able to save him and get him out of the place that he was in. A few miles down the road after we left the livestock yard, we stopped for fuel and I went back to check on him. You can see in this video that he's having a hard time standing and that he's very uncomfortable. So I knew something was wrong, didn't know what was going on with his legs, but I knew that we needed to get him to the vet as soon as possible because this just wasn't right and you could tell he was uncomfortable and that's not fair for him. He needed medical treatment right away. He did go to the bathroom in the trailer and he was also eating, so that was good signs that his gut was functioning properly. So that was a good sign and we were happy to see that.
We got back in the car and I saw what he was like as far as limping. I called Dr. Amber as soon as we got back into the truck after we got him loaded. And on the way home we stopped at Claude Veterinary Services and had him looked at. This was a little bit of what happened while we were there. When we took him out of the trailer after transporting for 3 hours, he was completely stiff-legged. This was a little clip from what happened at Dr. Amber's office.
So when we got up to Claude Veterinary Hospital, Dr. Amber came out and saw what he looked like in the trailer and how he was dancing, and she feared that he was foundering. And what founder is a common name for laminitis, or a condition with a horse's hoof. Within the hoof, there's a structure called laminae, and those attach to the hoof wall and the coffin bone. When a horse is foundering, these laminae become affected and the blood supply becomes compromised and they break down. So she was afraid that this was happening to him because of the way he was acting in the trailer. So the first thing that she wanted to do was get some x-rays taken of his hoof to make sure that founder was not what was happening with him and maybe there was something else going on. So this was them doing some x-rays, getting him up on a block so he would stand. This was some of the results from those x-rays that they took.
Yeah, all that arthritis there on that.
Is that what you think this is?
Maybe.
Corey, look at that.
He's got
it's arthritis.
Yeah, some ring bone on that bone. I don't see any rotation, so that's good. He's got really good sole depth. But I'm surprised that this is causing that. Let's take another.
What bone is that? Is that the pastern?
That would be, yep, that's his pastern, short pastern, long pastern, coffin bone. So we'll take a front view of this also.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take a picture of his ankle and make sure there's nothing going on up there. It seemed like this one was worse than the trailer, but huge amount of side bone also. So this is calcification of the collateral cartilages. So that shouldn't really, that coffin bone should kind of end right here. So this is what's called side bone. Mm-hmm. Some horses that doesn't bother them at all. Mm-hmm. Some horses it could be a source of pain. It's hard to know for sure, but you can't see, this is just on the front, that's rolling, of that short pastern here.
So he's not foundering?
Not that I can tell from these x-rays. I'll have to measure it. On this other program, it takes a little bit, but not yeah, there's no major rotation.
No.
Not straight. So, but there's multiple kind of other things going on in these feet that are probably painful.
Okay.
This is probably, and then you can even see in the joint space there, it's pretty, yeah, he is being.
Good boy.
Even more severe on this side. It's affecting both sides of that. So this will be a tough injection to do. You can see it's affected on the back side of this, in the front. We'll take another. No, we'll just do it on the ground. Yeah. So.
From what Dr. Amber could see on the x-rays, he was not foundering, but he is having some major arthritis issues. With Cammy, our other horse, she has pastern bone issues as well. So there are injections that they can do in these joints to make these horses feel more comfortable and to help them with their pain.
Same thing on that right front, only it looks quite a bit more severe. And it actually looks like there's a piece that's chipped away.
So is that like a bone spur?
Yeah, so these would be kind of what would be considered a bone spur, but then that one's not communicating in it. Those are a lot of times fine because it's not in the joint space.
Right.
But I'm sure it's uncomfortable, and if that's associated with a tendon, like if there's any calcification of his tendons or anything, secondary to all of this bony stuff, unfortunately, it's probably all just age and work related. Like I said, he's very big, and he's had a very major job his whole life.
Yeah.
And it would be, I mean, I'm sure anybody of us in our 60s, 70s, doing a full-time job your whole life, you're going to have some arthritis.
Yeah.
It's just pretty significant. So I do think just some preventative stuff, good pain meds. But I like to see that sawhorse stance. That is very much saying that his feet hurt. But on the x-rays, like I said, and what I'm concerned is that we're missing the forest for the trees almost. This is what looks the worst on the x-rays, but to me, there must be some inflammation in that foot for him to be sounding like this. And this all could be causing that inflammation, all secondary, but that is a very telltale stance of them having some laminitis. But, I mean, pain control all the way around for every aspect of it is what's important. So, I'll see. He is being pretty good with these. We'll see if we can get some pads on him to go home today.
Okay.
And then, like I said, we'll put him on some Bute and some Gastrogard.
Okay.
Can you grab me some more?
His lip. We don't like that? No. Oh, we don't like that. It got sugars? Oh.
We also did regular blood work on him to make sure his liver and kidneys were functioning properly, and they were. It did show that he was dehydrated, so we did get him some electrolytes to encourage him to drink some more water, and then we got him loaded up on some pain medications called Bute, and then Bute sometimes can upset their stomach, so that's what she said was Gastrogard, so we gave him some of that as well. So we were going to give him that, and we were also going to go make an appointment with MVP to see if we can get those joints injected and basically just get another opinion. So we got him back to the farm and got him unloaded out of the trailer and got him into his run where he's going to be staying. We put down some straw for him because Dr. Amber said that soft dirt would be much better on his feet for him than any hard concrete or anything like that. We don't have concrete in our barn. We do have just dirt floors in our barn, but we did put down some straw for him and some hay to make it a little bit more comfortable for him inside the barn. So this was him getting unloaded, and you can just tell how stiff and sore he is, but he did get pain medications at the vet, and we were just waiting for those to kick in for him. We were glad that he went right for the water. He did drink about 10 buckets of water at the vet's office, but he did go for the water right when we got home and then went right for the food. So eating and drinking is good, and that's a good sign. Just like all the other horses, he's scratching his head on the door frame. I don't know why the horses do this, but they absolutely love the door frames, and then there's a pole outside that they scratch onto. So it was good to see that he was kind of adjusting to his area, and you can see all the straw that we put down inside the barn for him, just for extra padding so he could lay in that as well. A little while later, he was laying down. Dr. Amber said that this was going to be normal, that laying down for him was probably more comfortable, and that's one thing that Cammie does as well, is she lays down a lot. The one thing I didn't video while we were at Dr. Amber's office was her cleaning out his hooves. She did want to check to make sure that there wasn't anything stuck inside his hoof that we couldn't see on the x-rays. And the one thing that she was getting out of there was a lot of rocks and mud. So apparently he was standing in rocks at some point, but he couldn't stand on his just 3 legs because he was so sore. So she said if we saw him laying down, we needed to get his hooves cleaned out as much as possible to get all the rocks out. So since he was laying down, Corey and I got in there and got all the rocks cleaned out. Well, Corey got the rocks cleaned out, and I just comforted him while he was doing that. He was such a good boy, and I've never seen a horse behave like this. He completely laid down for Corey, and he just let him clean everything out. And we got all the rocks out, so hopefully that was going to be more comfortable for him as well. And like the other horses, they scratch their feathers on the mangers. I don't know why they do this, but apparently it feels good. So this was him scratching his feathers on the manger. And his lip was just so darn cute. I couldn't pass including this video for you. We got all the other horses fed, and we noticed that he was laying down again, so Corey and I went in to go sit with him for a little while. Dr. Amber wasn't 100% sure that he wasn't foundering, so we wanted to make sure that we weren't giving him anything that was going to cause him to founder if he was just teetering on the edge. So he's on a strict coastal-only diet. I didn't realize Corey was recording this, but you can just tell how sweet this horse is, and he's just so gentle and so kind, and we just love him so much already, and we just want to do everything that we can possibly do for this guy and get him healthy because he's such a sweet horse. You couldn't hear the audio on here, but I was just telling him that everything was going to be okay and that he was safe and that we were going to make sure that he was taken care of and not feeling any more pain. By the next morning, he was walking a little bit better. He was still stiff-legged, but he was bending his joints. So that was a good sign that the medicine was actually starting to help. And I snapped this picture after I gave him his medicine because this is what he thought about the medicine that I gave him.
So right now, we're going to take him down to MVP. We have an appointment tomorrow morning. Dr. Wagner and all the staff at MVP are amazing when it comes to joint issues. So basically he has the same kind of condition, only his is a little bit worse than what Cammie has. Cammie has problems with her pastern joint as well. But they do some injections and they can control their pain and their management with these injections, these steroid injections. But we're going to take him down tomorrow to go see Dr. Wagner at MVP and see what we can do for him. We also did do a Cushing's test. She wanted to make sure that he was able to process sugars properly. So she did do a Cushing's test, so we're going to just wait on those results. But he is an absolutely stunning boy, and it's horrible, and it just breaks my heart to see him like this. So we are always going to do, at this foundation, we are always going to do what is best for the horse. So we're going to take him tomorrow and get evaluated to see exactly what we need to do, if we can get him steroid injections or what they think is our best path moving forward to get Liam on the road to recovery. But I'll take you in there right now so you can see him.
So this is Liam. He is our new boy. He is 18.1 hands tall and just an absolutely stunning horse. Besides his arthritis, he is a healthy boy and actually in really good condition and at a healthy weight. So we're really sad that all this is happening with his arthritis, but we're hopeful that Dr. Wagner tomorrow at MVP will have a solution for us to get him on the road to recovery so he can live a pain-free life. But as you can see right here, he is still pretty stiff, but he is walking much better than he was last night. There is a little hill right there for him to walk up, but he's doing a little better and just wants to be close to you all the time, and he's just the sweetest horse ever. We wanted to say thank you again to you for all the donations for Lucky's treatment. We're probably going to start a fundraiser as well for Liam's treatment because we don't know what that's going to entail, but we will probably start a fundraiser for him as well. But right now we do have a fundraiser going for him for his bail and transport. But we have to thank everybody again because we couldn't do this without you. All your support and your generosity, we're overwhelmed and we can't thank you all enough. And thank you everyone that has sent us gifts from our Amazon wish list and also gifts of Alpha Pro. It's truly amazing and we really can't thank you enough. But stay tuned. I will definitely have updates for you on Lucky and Liam. They are both going to MVP tomorrow and Lucky's having his surgery on Thursday. So stay tuned. I'll keep you posted.